So the youth, they are a very important component of the Jamaica Spices Project. In fact, we told you earlier this morning that August 12 was International Youth Day. And so as a result of focus on youth, we are, for our Spice Up Jamaica project this morning, or Spice Up Jamaica feature, focusing on youth and their importance to the project. There are a number of workshops that have already been conducted, and so we're going to take a look at those. And joining us for this conversation, Shunelle Nevers, Gender, Youth and Social Inclusion Specialist with the Jamaica Spices Project. Shunelle, good morning, and welcome to Farm Talk. How are you?
Good morning, Althea. I'm doing well, thanks. Thanks for having me as well.
A pleasure to have you on with us. Shunelle, I want to start from the broad, and then we narrow down or home in some more specifically on the project.
Okay.
You, as we have pointed out, you're a gender, youth and social inclusion specialist. What role would you say youth can play not only in agriculture, but also in the revitalization generally of the spices sector here in Jamaica? How do you see it?
That's a really great question. Youth are really vital to agriculture generally because they bring fresh energy, they bring innovative ideas, and they have this willingness really to adopt new technologies, and that can really significantly enhance productivity and sustainability. But not just that, there's so many areas within our project that our youth can contribute to. And our youth on the Spice Project, they take on leadership roles. They can also contribute to the sector through value-added processes such as agro-processing, creating new products in traditional spices, and also engaging in research and development. So the youth have a myriad of ways that they can contribute to the revitalization of the spices sector specifically.
From where you sit, Shunelle, what are you seeing in terms of the level of interest among our young people in terms of spices generally? Is there a growing interest? Are there young people who perhaps were interested but never had an outlet to express that interest, that you're now seeing the Jamaica Spices Project filling that gap for them?
Most certainly. So there are a lot of youth that would have had an interest in ginger and turmeric, not specifically in pimento, but definitely ginger and turmeric. And so we're encouraging them to plant those in addition to the other crops that they're currently growing. And so we are supporting them by providing access to resources, to training, and definitely other opportunities tailored to their specific needs where they are. We're offering specific training in improved agricultural techniques in business management and financial literacy, just to ensure that we're equipping these youth with the skills they need to succeed in the spices sector. So it's not just about an interest, but it's about bringing them up to scratch, bringing them up to where they need to be so they can have successful financial farms, etc.
Okay. Well, let us expand that a little bit, because, of course, sustainability of the spices sector is at the heart of what is going on with this particular project, the Jamaica Spices Project.
Yes.
It's about recognizing where there are shortfalls and seeking to fill those gaps and seeking to extend the life of spice farms across the length and breadth of the island.
Absolutely.
So how important would you say young people are to the sustainability overall of the spices sector?
That's a great question, Althea. Young people are so crucial to the sustainability of the spices sector because they really represent the next generation of farmers, the next generation of entrepreneurs, and the next generation of innovators, And so the project really has a deliberate and targeted strategy and action plan. And it's not only about the introduction and engagement of youth, but also the retention of them. So, with the aging population of current farmers, it's really essential for us to have this new wave of young individuals who are passionate about agriculture and are willing to invest in its future. So it's very, 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 very crucial for us to ensure that sustainability and viability of the sector.
Okay. Now, I understand, Shunelle, that you recently had a 2-day workshop on inclusive financial planning and marketing for spice producers. First of all, tell us what we're talking about when we talk about inclusive financial planning and marketing, and then tell us how that workshop went.
Okay, So when we talk about inclusion, we speak about access to all persons, right? And inclusivity in financial planning really ensures that all spice producers, regardless of their size or economic standing, have access to the knowledge and tools necessary to thrive in the market. So we really wanted to empower marginalized or small-scale producers and who might otherwise be excluded from different financial and market opportunities. So we really focus on strengthening their marketing skills. We also focus on enhancing their financial literacy, and we recognize by improving their understanding of financial planning, these producers can better manage their resources. They can make informed decisions, and that also adds to the sustainability of their farming operations. So it was very important for us to have this 2-day workshop in collaboration with our partners.
Right, and how did the workshop go? What kind of response did you get from the young people who participated in the workshops?
So I have to tell you, Althea, the workshop went very well. The persons were really receptive, especially because the content was very practical. So we made a deliberate effort for it not to be too much theory, yeah? And so many persons saw it as an opportunity to enhance their knowledge and skills, and so they were just very, very excited about it. We also shared some tools with them afterwards, some tools and templates, so they would be able to practice the things that they have learned. We're also planning to have a practical session in person as well in September, October, and we will be bringing these same persons in that participate so that they could get a little bit deeper hands-on learning as well. So very good stuff coming out of the workshop for sure.
Is there any way of checking to see if the knowledge gleaned during the workshops is actually being used in their operations as they continue on the project? So are there parameters that you have set? Are there guidelines that they are expected to follow post the workshop that you're then able to see in action on their farms?
So definitely. So 2 things. When we were doing the workshop, we had to do a pre and post test prior to the workshop and then after the workshop, just to test their knowledge at that level first. The persons who will be engaging with us, they will be tested in a variety of ways because, as I said, we did this with our partners. So some of the youth farmers who we engage, they belong to the Jamaica 4-H clubs, and they will be tested on those parameters. But also the youth that will be a part of the project, we have robust guidelines and assessments written into our project that we will be using to assess them. We have a robust monitoring, learning, and evaluation system. We also have a system of collaboration, learning, and adaptation that's really led by our Bell team. And so they go out and they monitor and they evaluate and they help our youth spice farmers to just meet their metrics, et cetera, and to see how best we are putting these new interventions in place. It's also important to note that this is a full-scale team effort, and we have so many different resources on our team that will be helping our youth specifically.
Okay. And I should ask you, what is it that you all noticed going on, why you decided to hold these workshops? What drove this decision to have these workshops?
So a lot of the members on our team have been in farming for many, many years, and so they knew those gaps already existed. But not only that, our project did a number of foundational studies in year 1. We did a value chain analysis. We did a gender, youth, and social inclusion analysis. We also did a baseline assessment. And so the findings from those foundational studies, these financial gaps came out strongly. These knowledge gaps came out strongly. And so we knew that To have a great project, we would have to do some amount of capacity building to address these knowledge gaps that exist, because we really want our smallholder farmers to have the necessary knowledge in financial planning and marketing, because these are the skills that will effectively manage and grow their businesses, because sometimes or many times they are operating at a loss. And so if you say that you want to build this sector and if you want to help these persons to become more resilient, these are the type of targeted capacity building strategies that have to be implemented from the get-go.
All right. Very, very interesting. I wondered as well, Shunelle, as I'm listening to you, how many women were engaged as part of this? You are the gender, youth, and social inclusion specialist. And so while the focus for this particular part or arm of the project was focused on the young people, did you have many women who are young persons attending the workshops?
Absolutely. So as I said before, we have a very intentional and deliberate targeting strategy. Not only did we target youth, we also targeted women, specifically rural women, and we also targeted persons with disabilities. So on our platform, we also had a sign language expert. You know what I mean? We have to ensure that all of our farmers are able to participate. So persons with disabilities, rural women, and youth was our target, and all of those persons were able to participate. So we have an effective mobilization strategy where we tap into our partners, where we tap into certain organizations and say, hey, we are having this, please send your persons. And so it was a very successful intervention, and we will be using that same strategy going forward.
All right, excellent. And of course, we have just a few more questions for you as we seek to get as much information as we can about these workshops. I want to find out how receptive the individuals were to the workshops. Were you buoyed by the enthusiasm that you saw, for example, coming from the young people?
Most certainly, because, the young people, they had a lot of questions. As I was saying before, they were very receptive. They had a lot of questions because it was just so practical. We were online with a spreadsheet showing them how to do their cost of production, showing them different kinds of marketing strategies, etc. So they were extremely receptive, and they were very excited that they were able to understand better financial planning so that they could better manage their resources, and most importantly, make informed decisions for the sustainability and viability of their farming operations. So also based on that enthusiasm, we know for sure that we're going to have a lot more online sessions as well as practical sessions, because it's very, very, very important for us to provide opportunities tailored to their specific needs.
All right, which leads me to what I think is going to be my final question as to whether or not there'll be workshops like this or other workshops of similar nature in the future.
Oh, for sure, 100%. The project is actually in the process of planning out our year 3 activities, and our year 3 activities, capacity building and training is a foundation of what we do, and we do capacity building and training on all aspects. So we do that on sustainable production, we do that on markets and finance. So training and development in our key areas is what we do, and we also do a lot of training in partnership with our partners who are on the project as well. So very excited for our upcoming trainings, which are currently being planned and fleshed out.
All right. Shunelle, yes. This all sounds very exciting, and of course we look forward to hearing more about the project and how all of this plays out, how the workshops have assisted the young people to move their operations forward as part of the Jamaica Spices Project. Thank you so very much for this morning, and we do look forward to more engagement with you later on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Althea.
All right, take care. All right, Shunelle Nevers there, and very important, the work that is being done with our young people on that Jamaica Spices Project. Shunelle is gender, youth, and social inclusion specialist. And so it is good when you listen to the different aspects of this project and how it is that they have played out. We really want to congratulate the team, Dr. Blake and his team, for the approach that they have taken to this project. and how this project is not just focused on any one area, any one set of people, but really working with everyone who has an interest in spices and growing the spices industry. All right, so just before we take the break, we are going to hear from Marjorie Gordon, and she'll provide us with some tips. After we hear from Marjorie, we go straight to the break.
Here's your spices tip for the week. If you are planting ginger, remember to destroy all crop debris, especially if disease are present.